today's 6-game NHL slate on Draftkings. It's shaping up to be a weird one. We've got bad teams in the good spots and good teams in the bad spots. So do with that what you will tonight. So the three best teams on the slate are the Rangers, the Stars, and the Avs. The Rangers going up against Montreal. Caden Primo's been really good lately. Actually, he's been really good all season, which is why the Rangers don't grade out higher. Although I do have them as the fifth option in my stacks tonight because they are the Rangers. Definitely have potential to put up lots of goals. Excuse me. The other two teams are actually going up against each other. We have Dallas and Colorado. Two really good offenses against two goalies that have been super hot lately. We're projecting Ottinger and Noonan to start, and both have been just ridiculous lately. And so it ends up with neither team looking like a great target. Of course, either offense could go off on any night, but I'm probably not going to be playing Dallas or Colorado tonight. So with our good teams being kind of limited, naturally we have bad teams like Arizona in prime spots tonight. So we're looking like the four teams that jump out: Ottawa, Arizona, Washington, and St. Louis, almost entirely because of their matchups tonight. So we have Ottawa against Washington, and Charlie Lindgren's been in horrible form lately. The first half of the year, he was looking pretty solid. He's really fallen off a cliff since then. I think he's lost 4 in a row, giving up over 3.5 goals against in his last 2 weeks or so. And Ottawa actually generates a decent number of high danger chances, but they have not. Actually, their expected goals for is 3.25. So Ottawa too looks like a pretty decent target tonight, going up against Lindgren and Washington on the road. We have Arizona taking on San Jose. As you all know, San Jose is probably one of the, if not the premier target for fantasy purposes. They've been giving up goals in bunches. In fact, their expected goals against is over 3.5, highest in the league at 3.66. So even though Arizona doesn't have a ton of expected goals for, they're in the best matchup possible. So Arizona is actually a team we can look at tonight. We have Washington in that same game against Ottawa. I don't know if it's going to be Korpisalo, who came in relief last night against Forsberg, who got the start, or if they'll go back to Forsberg starting back-to-back because he only played like 15 minutes or something last night. But either way, they both suck. So it's going to be a fine spot for Washington, no matter who ends up starting for Ottawa. So you can look at Washington 1. Obviously, Ovi is going to be your prime candidate there, playing on both power plays and taking tons of shots. And then St. Louis going up against Anaheim. I don't know if Gibson will be back or not, but it's not going to make much of a difference here for St. Louis. In fact, Gibson's been so bad that he would make it a better matchup for St. Louis and their second line. Now, the nice thing about having bad teams in good spots is that typically the salaries are a lot cheaper, whereas last night it was hard to fit in your Edmonton and your New Jersey stacks. We'll have hopefully excess salary to work with here if we're going with Arizona and Ottawa, or Washington and Arizona or St. Louis. None of them are too expensive, which means you might be able to throw in a one-off goal scorer from maybe the Rangers, or if you want to go to someone from Colorado or Dallas, I think that's possible tonight. So now that we have gone over kind of the overview, we can look at the top 5 teams based on my targetability. Or over here, Ottawa 2 had the highest score because they're on the road. Arizona on the road, so their second line. St. Louis on the road, so I start with their second line. Washington and the Rangers at home, so we look at their first line. For cheap shot blocking defensemen, there are really no good shot blocking matchups tonight for anybody. Trevor Van Riemsdyk, he's fine. It's kind of an average matchup for him. He's still cheap. So if you really need a cheap shot blocking defenseman, you can look at TVR. And then these two, Brandstrom and Valimaki, they're just cheap D-men. They were on power play 1 or power play 2 in good spots tonight. So they're not really here because of their shot blocking upside. They're here because they're cheap and it's a good spot for their teams. For goalies, again, Kakkonen kind of stands out because he's cheap and it's a 50-50 game. So at 7,200, he'll probably be my highest owned goalie. And then you can look at that Dallas-Colorado game. It's looking like it might be a Noonan and Ottinger. Both of them have been killing it lately. And so that game, it could end up being 1-0. It could end up being 6-5. I have no idea. So both of them will make me nervous, but both of them have good upside at that price. And then if you want to pay all the way up to Shesterkin, you can. His implied win percentage is way higher. I think they're at like 73% or something. And the next highest is like 50s or mid-50s or something. So if you're looking for which goalie has the highest chance of winning, it's Shesterkin by far. But Montreal doesn't generate a ton of shots on goal, so your save upside's not there. Your biggest source of upside is going to come from the potential for a shutout for New York and for Shesterkin. For me, those are the only four I'd consider, with Kakinen likely being my highest owned player, or highest owned goalie at least. So that covers today's slate. I will update the spreadsheet here, which is linked in the description down below. If we get changes in goalies, we can see how that affects the targetability of some offenses. But that's where I'm going to start with the stacks. Hopefully I don't need one of these cheap shot blocking defensemen because I don't love any of them tonight. But if I do, I'll probably start with TVR. Kakinen will save me some salary and let me fit in the skaters that I want. Again, let me know if you guys want anything else added here, any other stats or advanced stats you think would help you determine good plays for fantasy purposes. And let me know if you would prefer me to put the skaters' names instead of just the line that I prefer, because I have no problem doing that if that makes it easier for you. Okay, that's it for today, and good luck.